Usually I don't start with drums, but this specific beat, I started making the drums, and it's just from a time that I was making random beats here and there. So this was one of them. Yeah, my name is Odzz.
What if God didn't? What if I had never been blessed beyond limits? What if I was always the
music producer from the 244 Nairobi, Kenya. As you guys know,
all I ever had to reflect was Bob Dylan. Josiah just decided to rest and not finish. Sia wasn't up to the test and not winning. Shabalala said
my guy out here in the cut. Say, man, bro. Come here.
What if?
Yeah, I started making beats back in high school. FL, you know. Then after finishing high school, when I took it more seriously, I started posting my beats on YouTube here and there. But that was in 2020. But I was like actually full-time. I became a full-time music producer, internet-based. That's basically my story. I don't think there's much to it. Yeah, posting type beats.
Actually made back in 2023, like when Pressure was signing producers, and like Odzz kind of told me to check out this producer called Jaeye, and like I kind of check out his page and I liked his work. Like we were working on this track called Sick of Love by Tabi, and Odzz kind of flipped the idea into like now what if, and yeah, that's when the magic happened.
Where would I be now? Mapande kwako, uyamdaka mama. Indoya kuti, where would I be now? Mapande kwako.
Personally, I started with these drums. Yeah, so I usually love these drums because they're usually spaced, and one thing I do to my drums, I add some snares to, I add some reverbs to my snare, which is quite controversial. So one snare has no reverb, then this other has some shit ton of reverb. You know, when I layer them, it's when it captures the emotion. I feel like it helps mix the drums with the melodies. Let's listen to it, okay? Yeah, so it's usually just like some Afro R&B vibe that I started with. That's what I was usually going for at this point. These days, I was trying to challenge myself to make something different that's not like sounding like what I've already made. I'm trying to new patterns, new sounds, new progressions. For this specific beat, I decided just to keep it simple to capture the mood and the emotion. So after that, I went to the 808s. The 808s were inspired by the Thames and Wizkid song, Essence. I usually like how the way it usually bounces. I didn't like just a simple 808. When it comes to Afrobeat, the 808 patterns are usually so simple. So that's when I decided like to play with it a bit and have a pattern like this. How it goes up. Yeah, so that's what I was doing with the 808. So yeah. So at this point, I think I had the structure of the whole beat, and that's when the inspiration came from the previous song we did with Tabi for Life, and I was like, oh, I have the MIDI to the melody that Jay made for me, because when he sent me the melodies, usually send them with MIDI. So that's when I came up with this idea, but I like kind of rearranged it to get it to sound like this. So what I did with the melody is like I just try to play with the velocity of each note usually, because I feel like this is my favorite plugin, Odzz Lizard. And I'm not being paid to say this, but actually this is like my favorite plugin. I use it in most, like 90% of my Afrobeats. I use the Odzz Lizard plugin. So that was a time that I actually fell in love with it, when I realized how I could play with the velocity to capture different emotions. And I just love how it sounds smooth actually. So yeah, that's how I made the melody for this, the main melody for this song. And when you listen now, what we have now, it's sounding like this. But at this point, it was sounding a bit bare to me. So that's when like I tried to introduce I just wanted to fill some spaces in it, because I feel like, okay, it was capturing some emotion, but not how I wanted it. I wanted it to hit the soul deeper. So that's when I came across this guitar riff, and here's how it was sounding initially with no effects. Here's how it sounds. So I pitched it down a bit. It was sounding initially like this. So it was like playing on a different key. So I pitched it down to the main key of the song. And I decided to add some reverb. Just some stock plugins. You know, stock plugins usually save the day. So some stock reverb over there. And I decided like to do a low pass filter to cut off the high ends. And a little bit of delay. Nothing much processing there. And here's how it sounds now. So here's how it sounds with the effects. Basically, I call it the underwater effect. So basically, it's playing, but everything is low passed. Then now we have the melody. I think this is the last instrument that I added. So this is just a purity sound. Basically, it plays that. Yeah, so that's what's playing. Basically, what this reverb does, just like a wide reverb. Then I added some sausage fashioner to it to make it more lively. So here's how it sounds without the effects. And here's how it sounds with the effects. So here's how it sounds with the melody. And with the drums. The 808s. The guitar. Drum rolls and some crashes, and here's how it... Yeah, so together. The beat is done. That's how I made the beat. And now to the collaboration. Made the beat in 2023, a whole year passed, and now it's 2024. Just posted it on YouTube and didn't think much about it. Now in 2025, I'm just chilling in the crib, scrolling TikTok. Then I came across a certain TikTok, and I was like, I recognized this beat because like I made it, although it was like something I don't know. Now when I press the sound, I see that it has like 30K videos, and I'm like, what? 30K videos, and it is my song. So I was like, okay, let me research, because when you go to TikTok, you won't see who made the song. So after doing some few research, I found out it's actually made by Yanga Chief. So we reached out to his team and we connected, and everything went smoothly. I want to shout out Yanga Chief and his team because they made everything smooth, and we figured out the business side of the things. And yeah, I personally love the song because it gives people the emotion to express themselves and be thankful, and also like people just a Thanksgiving song. And I like get emotional watching the TikTok videos because, you know, everyone's going through shit and we're just living in our blessing. So that's why I love the song. And yeah, that's much all I can say about the song. So go stream What If by Yanga Chief. #1, Spotify, Apple Music, Shazam, everywhere in South Africa. And shout out my SA brothers. Yeah, you should come to the 254. We got mad hits over here. So we also, by December, we're coming down there to rock it with you guys. See you there.
mama. Into yakuthi, where would I be now? Ngaphandle kwakho.